Sex on today's Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Hello, Leper Nation, and how are you? And welcome back to another edition of Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. So we have a situation in Texas where a pastor by the name of Alfonso Joseph was caught with his pants down having sex with a 15-year-old minor on a golf course. And I've seen various videos covering this situation. And it just strikes me as to how easy and how often these young people are allowed to be on adult dating sites. Grindr. Consequences for the 15-year-old sex offenders. Are there any consequences for the 15-year-old who accessed that site? Are there any consequences for the owner of that site who did not have security in order to keep that young man from accessing that site? What about his parents? Is there any responsibility for his parents for him leaving the house, giving information to a stranger, and then engaging in sexual acts with that stranger? Should he be now taken from his parents because he's a bad child, because he's a troubled child, because he's a troubled teen? Or is all the focus to be on Alfonso Joseph simply because this boy is 15 years old? Think about that. From the time this young man decided to access that website until the moment he got in Mr. Joseph's vehicle, he was in control. He was in control of the entire situation. Up until the time he got into that vehicle, he could have made a different choice, but he did not want to make a different choice. He made the choice that he intended to make, which was to have sex with an adult. That's what his intent was, to have sex with an adult. And he knows he can do this. Why? Simply by virtue of his age. Because he's 15 years old, he can do things and get away with it. There are no consequences for him. Hi, how are you? And welcome back to the Modern Day Leper. I'm Ahmad Blakemore, the Modern Day Leper. How are you? Sex offender, ex-offender, that is who I am. I am here for motivation and inspiration and letting you know that there is life after prison. So this is one of those topics, right? Never let your girlfriend know you're a sex offender. And there's a few reasons why I say this. Number one, when you meet a lady and you and the lady get to know each other and you're starting to hit it off and you're starting to have things in common and you're realizing that, hey, this person is a lot of fun. She's thinking the same thing you're thinking. This guy is a lot of fun. If she wanted to, she could go on the internet and pull your name and find out everything she wants to find out about you. Your sex offender status would come up on Google immediately. If she's hanging out with you and having fun with you, and you guys are having a good time and enjoying the process of dating, she's not wanting to do that, meaning she's decided not to look you up on Google. And if she has looked you up on Google, she is not affected by what came up. In other words, she don't care. In the process of getting to know people, people need a balance. Ladies need. Let's say you've been dating somebody 8, 10, 12 months. Now the person has something to contrast what you tell them. They've put some time into your life. You've put some time into their life. To talk about this stuff to people who are just going to pass through is a waste of everybody's time. I told a woman after we had been dating a year that I was a sex offender. And she said to me, I know, I looked you up on Google. I said, when did you look me up on Google? She said, about 4 months ago. I said, why didn't you say anything about it? She said, why was I going to say anything about it? If I wasn't going to leave, what's the point? Her point is, I have something to contrast it by. You're such a good guy. You're such a hardworking guy. Your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender. On today's Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. When your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender, she keeps you safe. She's not argumentative, blackmailing you, threatening you. I'm going to call the police on you. I'm going to get you in trouble. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. Her safety and your safety is her primary concern. Threatening you and putting you in danger is going to be the last thing on her mind when your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender. When your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender, she gives you money. She doesn't mind using her money to take care of the things that you need to take care of. And we all know how women feel about money. Most women will not give a man anything. But a woman that loves a man and wants to keep him safe will use her money to do so. When a woman knows that you're a sex offender, she will go to work. That's right. When your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender, she will clock in. The number one way to know if a person loves you or not is, are they willing to work on your behalf? When a woman knows you're a sex offender and she loves you, she is willing to go to work to make sure that all the bills get paid. When your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender, she understands the process. She knows the rules as well as you do, and she's not going to let you cheat. When your girlfriend knows you're a sex offender, she knows that you're supposed to register, and she's going to make sure you do that. When your girlfriend knows that you're a sex offender, she's going to make sure that you're living where you're supposed to live, that you're 2,000 or 3,000 feet from a school or a daycare, whatever is valid in your state. She's going to make sure that you are doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, because her number one priority is to keep you safe. The three main types of sex offender bullying on today's Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Hello, how are you? And welcome back to another edition of Modern Day Leper with Ahmad Blakemore. Today, in this episode, we're talking about the three main types of sex offender bullying. Now, this came to me from the comment section of one of the videos that we had posted on the channel. And it's very important that we address this. I felt so bad when I read the comment that someone had moved into a neighborhood and they were being harassed by people in the neighborhood. First of all, that is against the law. And if that happens to you, be sure to consult a lawyer so that you know what your rights are, because no one has the right to harass another person. These are the three main types of sex offender bullying. It is going to have a subset to follow it, and I will do the primary and the subset. The first main bully is the politician. The politician wants to run for office, right? But he has no platform. What's he gonna run on? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? The number one thing is marginalized people, right? Politicians love marginalized people. Why? Because they are ready for the pickings. He can't go to the upper middle class. He can't go to the middle class. He has to find his victims or his problems in marginalized people. So he will go after the drug addicts. He will go after the felons. And of course, he will go after everybody's favorite, the sex offender. Going after the sex offender with his bullying tactics. We're trying to save the children. They're after your kids. They're after your children. They're not after your children. But this bully just wants a public office. He just wants to be famous. He just wants to get elected. He just wants to have power. And he has to get his power from somewhere. And he gets his power from powerless people, the marginalized people that society don't care about, wouldn't listen to anyway, and don't think they deserve a voice or rights. And so the politician can come after sex offenders full on. Media is, of course, the local news. Why? Because the local news wants the ratings that the big shows are getting. They want the eyes that the national media is